Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 2 of Entrepreneurs and Small Business Owners, the podcast. Today, I'll be talking with Coach Derek Collinsworth. Coach Derek Collinsworth is a boxing trainer and coach and aficionado here in Houston, Texas. Mr. Collinsworth is from New Orleans, Louisiana. He lived here for a little while before Hurricane Katrina and decided to make roots here in Houston, Texas, and has been very successful in his stable of boxers. He has 2 pro boxers and a host of amateur boxers under his umbrella. So we're going to sit down and we're going to talk about boxing. He's a historian of boxing. So we're going to talk about some of that, and we're going to also talk about the will to never give up and to keep striving and to keep moving forward and pursuing your dreams. And with that, here we go.
From the Lagerman Creative Studios, this is Entrepreneurs and Small Business Owners, the podcast.
My name is Ingo Lagerman, and in this podcast, I'll be sitting and chatting with entrepreneurs and business owners, success stories, and maybe some not so successful stories that they learned from. Let's go. All right, everybody, this is Entrepreneurs and Small Business Owners, the podcast. I got my good buddy, good friend, little brother.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Derek Collinsworth here with me. He is a boxing pro, a boxing connoisseur. The guy knows his stuff, man. We've been knowing each other for, oh my God, what?
2000.
Shoot, early
2000s.
Yeah. And you had a shop. I met him at a barber shop, and I used to wear braids, and he was the first guy to cut my braids off.
Yeah. Mama used to do them, and then you cut them off.
Exactly, that's right.
Yeah, we had a barber shop in Houston, A-Leaf, and then I opened one at home for a while in New Orleans.
In New Orleans.
And so it's been a lot of years, dude.
A lot of years, man. And look at us, man.
Yeah, I'm eating good.
yeah, we're all eating good.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man.
This is nice, man.
Thanks, man. Yeah. Thanks for coming out, man, to sit and chop it up with me, man. I just wanted, the purpose of this podcast, man, is to let people know, never stop, never give up.
Yeah, I've been...
There's always tomorrow.
I've been successful, unsuccessful, backwards and forwards, up and down, trying things. Yeah,
man.
Absolutely,
man. And you've been in boxing for a number of years, man. And that's what I wanted to ask.
Well, I was born into boxing. Yeah. There was just periods I got away from boxing. That's all.
And what was that? That's what I wanted to ask you about, because I don't know the story. For everybody else, I don't know the story behind that one. What got you away from boxing?
I didn't have no visions of becoming some great fighter. I had great fighters in my family.
In the
bloodline. So one of my earliest memories, man, was my uncle, who was a pro middleweight in the 60s and 70s. His last fight was on the Ali Spinks undercard, the one in the dome.
Wow.
In the Superdome.
Yeah.
And he's 70 this year, 71.
Wow.
And he still got one of his greatest possessions was a ring card signed by Ali.
Wow.
You know, a big Ali guy.
Yeah, man.
But one of my earliest memories was sitting in, my dad had a shed in the back where he kept his heavy bag and speed bag. Mm-hmm. And I had to be, I think I'm younger than but 3, maybe 4.
Yeah.
And just sitting there and watching it for an hour.
Yeah.
Just hitting that heavy bag. So, we got gloves along with your baby bottles, So, I've always been enamored with the sport. But you was asking me, we all fought, and I had no...
You had no intention on taking it further.
Well... I didn't have no mistaken that I was better than, I could be some great fighter or something,
I got you.
Yeah. Plus I had other interests, but it was imperative learn how to fight and fight in my family. My dad fought amateur. I guess it would be called amateur, but he was in the service prior to World War II. Mm-hmm. He was in World War II.
Right. And
this is when Joe Louis was the heavyweight champion of the world.
Wow.
That was my dad's hero.
And what was your dad's weight class?
Heavyweight. I'm a runt, man. I'm 6'1", 240. Mm-hmm. My dad was 6'5", 300 pounds all my life. Yeah, he was a hulk of a man.
Giant of a man.
Yeah, real big. I tell people I'm a runt, and they was like, "What?" Yeah, my dad, he was something else, man. He was a big country.
That's a big man.
Yeah, I've seen him hit people, and it don't.
Yeah.
But my uncle I'm speaking of, his 3 boys fought as well, and 2 of them went professional.
Wow.
His uncle, which isn't my relation, but his uncle is who trained him as a child in hell, I guess the 50s, 50s, and he fought amateur and went professional. But so boxing has always been there, and I just got other interests,
right?
You know, as a teen.
Yeah,
and,
like what? Like what was some of your interests?
Music.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like to say the girls ruined any potential I had, but boxing has always been there. Hell, when we met, I had fighters all on the wall at the barbershop.
That's right.
You know, boxing has always been
there.
A part of our heritage, I guess you would say. And we're Irish, Italian, and a little bit of French in there.
Right.
But yeah, man. So it's. The family, they like to say, especially my contemporary, my cousins that we grew up with and my little brother, they all said, you need to be a trainer. That's your thing, man, because you understand this,
the sweet science.
That you understand things we just was able to perform. You took it to explaining it better. And there was a guy I grew up with, a buddy of mine, who fought. He no relation, but I remember I must have been 20, bro. He turned pro, and he was like, "Man, come help me out in the gym." And I was like, "Man, I ain't. What you mean help you out, man? I ain't no, He said, "Nah, man, come on, man. I need some help. I ain't got nobody help. I got a fight coming up." So I went down there and helped him. Yeah. And improvised what I remembered growing up and what I was taught, and figured something. And he went on about a 6 fight winning streak, man.
Wow.
And
you helped him all those 6 fights?
Yeah. So he went on and he had a long career and had some named fighters and so I was in and out the gyms, and then my cousin was right up under me, Jimmy. He went pro, and I would go to the gym with him and help him out. And I remember when I first came to Houston, they had to get him out the city so he'd stay out of trouble, and they sent him here to train for a particular fight. And I was living here, and he said, "Cuz, come down here, man, because I don't know none of these guys, and I don't know if they know what they're doing or not. And come down here." So I went down there, and when I first met a few in the community here in Houston, and helped him a little bit prepare for the fight, and he won, and so I said, well, I guess I might as well open the gym, and open the gym in Missouri City.
Right.
I had it about 2-3 years before we moved to Katy and opened another one. But yeah, my boxing, I don't remember a time without boxing.
Without it.
Ever.
That's incredible, man.
Yeah, I don't. And again, I've produced far better fighters than I ever thought about being, and so I have no inclination of what I could have did. No, I know what not to do because of what I did.
Right, and that's what I was gonna say. I mean, it's probably just like a football coach. If you played football before, you probably be a better coach because you played the game.
Well, here's my thing, bro. Right, you have some kind of real world experience, but I also believe if one can have the aptitude for coaching and learn,
a good teacher
and teach. Now, I would say he needs to get punched in the mouth and
right.
and understand the dynamic of not being able to breathe,
right,
and maintain poise and those things. But you can learn that as well. I say that because it's been my experience in boxing, man, that there's no real middle ground. There's good trainers,
right,
and bad trainers.
Gotcha.
You know,
right. There's no okay trainers.
Yeah, because the bad trainers don't do any apprenticeship. They think they know, right. They understand, and they could have been world champions.
Right.
They can be fighters. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I think the key is real world experience, however you get it, and when that meets a guy who could speak the language that the fighter needs,
right,
makes all the difference in the world,
right.
because nobody learns the same.
Yeah.
So yes and no. I'm not disagreeing with what you said. Right. I absolutely, if you fought before and had fights, then great. You understand exactly what's going on.
Right.
But you can also get in the gym and be trained. Maybe that's my
you can learn on the job.
I believe I could build a trainer as well.
Gotcha.
Same way I could build a fighter.
Right.
But it will require him getting into some boxing gloves and getting hit and realizing,
and learning how to move.
It's not just It's not just come on.
Right.
Come on, don't get it, man. No. This guy's kicking my ass.
It's a sweet science.
Right.
You got to learn angles and
it's mathematics, man.
Yeah.
A little bit of geometry, a little bit of everything, man. So
and then a whole lot of athleticism.
Yeah, man. So imperative that I like to say it's 90% mental, 10% physical, but the 10% has to be 100%.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't be
that switch has to be in the on position.
The much more intelligent fighter will lose to a lesser opponent because he's in shape.
Right.
And that intelligent guy couldn't pull a trigger.
That's true.
He was sucking air. So
gotcha.
There's all different philosophies, but yeah, man, boxing and you know what? I'm 43. Outside of my wife. We're going on 18 years.
Right.
That's about those two things are the most consistent two things I've ever still interested in.
Yeah.
So it's never been a time that
that it wasn't in your life.
I didn't know a fight was coming up and wasn't interested in see who wins. You know? But yeah, man, that's kind of my backstory and how I got involved. I didn't choose boxing. We was born into boxing.
I hear a lot of boxers, like the really top echelon of boxers, they all have that same story. Yeah. They go, boxing chose me.
Yeah, it's
just something that
they didn't want to play team sports.
Right.
Because if you drop the ball and I lose, I don't like it.
I don't like that.
Give me the ball.
Right. That's right. That's right.
So that's how and so no matter where I was in life, I was always 1 foot involved in one form or fashion.
Now is New Orleans a big fight city?
Man, great question.
Because you got a lot of fight cities out there. Like Brooklyn is up and coming right now.
Great.
New York has always been a big fight city.
Great question. New Orleans is so steeped in boxing. From Pete Herman to oh man, Tony Canzaneri, who went to New York and he got famous in New York, but he was a New Orleanian and he was a welterweight champion. From my line, the guy who trained my uncle was trained by a guy named Whitey Asnault, who was St. Mary's Gymnasium. He was born in 1880 something. He died 10 years before I was born.
What? Jeez, he lived alone.
But he produced Willie Pastrana, Ralph Dupas, world champions.
Wow.
Who you know him from being with Angelo Dundee.
Right.
But he built them, and he was the form team.
Gotcha.
And then Angie would take them and go perform.
Wow.
Willie Pastrana was how Ali met Angelo Dundee.
Is that right?
I'll tell you another fun fact. We know we Tyson fans, big Tyson fans.
Yeah.
that bag on the wall with the numbers.
Right.
You know, it's called the Willie bag.
Okay.
That Cus D'Amato invented that bag
based off of
for Jose Torres to train in order to beat Willie Pastrana.
Wow, how about that?
At light heavyweight.
How about that?
Yeah, man, New Orleans is so steep now. We've been in a funk since the 60s.
Right.
But that's all right, because Regis Prograis is about to get us back. Yeah, we about to get back to the mountaintop.
That boy there,
tonight.
Yeah,
world
that's
title,
right.
WBA world title, I believe.
Absolutely.
WBA.
Absolutely.
He's got
by the time y'all see this, Prograis will have won another one.
That's a New Orleans boy, man.
That boy
Transplant here from Katrina, man.
From Katrina, that's right.
So New Orleans was a huge fight.
Huge.
Durant quit against Ray Leonard in the Superdome.
Okay, that's the No Mas?
Yeah.
That No Mas fight.
I mean, this box, but we had, maybe the crime rate had something to do with it in the 90s, 80s and 90s. But yeah, New Orleans was always a big. Matter of fact, I think the last big promotion there we was involved in through my cousin, Annabelle Goodman.
Okay.
John Goodman from Roseanne,
right?
His wife, he married a New Orleans.
He's from New Orleans.
Yeah, he married a girl from over the lake, and she started Kingfish Boxing.
Is that right?
Because her brother was a boxer, and she signed my cousin, and that was the last right before Katrina, man.
Golly, man.
Right before Katrina, we was having a resurgence, man.
Yeah,
and that kind of jammed us up,
and
man.
And Katrina kind of
and a lot of the fighters
people
here.
moved.
Yeah, Regis Prograis. Who is it? The Charlos?
Charlos out of Lafayette.
Yeah, out of Louisiana, man.
Lafayette,
so a lot of us came here, and Houston had the infrastructure as far as boxing.
Right.
Had the boxing crowd and the large Hispanic population.
Right.
So
you got the need.
We came here and found a way.
Right.
Shout out little Jericho Walton, man. He's 13-0. He just won a fight on the Roy Jones card Thursday.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow, man.
We had him on the podcast, man. He's a New Orleans transplant from Katrina, man. So you got me training guys here.
That's
I'm
right.
bringing the New Orleans Arsenal Conforto men's boxing is right here,
right
in Katy, Texas, man. Because and I've been here years now.
Yeah,
competing since 08 maybe.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, man.
That's incredible, man. Yeah. And let me ask you this: you probably have a lot of guys coming to your gym. How do you know when a guy has it? You know.
That's another great question, and I'm gonna tell you. Every time I talk shop with a trainer, the short answer is every trainer should have his own litmus test.
Right.
And I have litmus tests for trainers because if you don't have a litmus test, then you haven't made it to
that next level.
To not waste your time.
Right.
Because a lot of fighters, a lot of trainers, I see, young and old.
Yeah.
They'll put so much stock into a guy who's maybe an outstanding athlete.
Right.
But he just doesn't have the character.
He may be a good ball player, a good football player.
But this is something different.
Something else is
different, man. Because it's not. We have posable thumbs, bro, so that we don't have to fight anymore.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's evolutionary.
Right.
We're supposed to pick up something.
Right.
And beat that animal in the head with it. Right.
Yeah.
And so to stand there and fist fight,
right,
it's very, very. We have a genetic disposition to not do that.
Yeah, fight or flee.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Your hair on the back of your neck goes up because it says danger.
Right.
Leave.
Right.
Right.
That's the easy thing.
Right. It's self-preservation.
Live to fight another day.
It's self-preservation.
Right.
Because it used to not be another man. It used to be whatever.
Saber-toothed tiger or whatever.
Crocodile or something. Right. Mm-hmm. You had to get the hell out of that. And pay attention to the signs.
Right.
So, in order to be a successful fighter, you have to replace and download thousands of years of genetic what would you call it? Coding?
Yeah, right.
Genetic coding.
Exactly.
So I seen a movie one time. You ever seen that Eastwood movie?
Keep talking. Yeah.
Where he's training the gal to fight.
And, yeah.
And he says,
$1 million bait.
Yeah, $1 million bait. He says, I gotta make you do a thing till you think that's the only way you ever did it.
Right.
But that's called training.
Right.
Because that isn't how you did it.
That's not how you did it.
Every person, including my wife, who wanted to learn how to fight, all said, well, that ain't how I do it.
Right.
Well, right, because you don't do it right.
Right.
So I gotta program you until, if you never do a thing for the next 5 years, but when you gotta do it, you do it the way I taught you, because you think,
right,
oh, well, that's how I always did it.
Right.
No. And
Right.
see, that's a horse of a different color. You can't, being a great athlete doesn't matter.
Right.
With that.
And speaking of that, you just made me think of something. Now, recently we saw Triple G just got rid of his trainer. And what do you think with it? Is that?
We covered this morning on the
does that tie into? Okay, now you've been having this guy to teach you all of this stuff to get you at this particular level. Do you think it's hard to teach him a new technique, or you think he can be retrained? You think he can adjust?
Is the desire to be retrained? Right. It's something different. See,
because some people think he may be trying to cash out.
Well, and
so you know what?
Even if he isn't, even if his mind isn't to cash out, he needs to be thinking cash out.
Right.
Because
he's
this
38.
is a business.
He's 38. Yeah.
Right. See, we as fans, even me, and I got professional fighters I'm building. I've built a national champ. But I always got to remind myself that in the professional ranks, it's a business, man. Right. And so it's dollar signs, it's decimal points, and the love of the game,
right,
may not take precedence over what needs to be done. So here's what I mean. It's we always lose, Brandon, the trainer. You know why? And it's not even necessarily wrong. Maybe ethnically or not ethical,
Gotcha.
ethically, however you say it. Maybe that, but business wise, you take Triple G for instance.
Right.
He signs this deal with
who's that? The
Zone.
Right.
And the deal they say is worth $100. Well, he's got a dollar amount for the first fight and the second fight and the third fight. Now, Triple G's got to say, I'm 38 years old. I've paid you your recommended 10% for 9 years. Right. In those 9 years, we made it to the mountaintop. Now, I don't know what's his mountaintop, but surely multiple millions. Right. And now, I've got to take these 6 fights, make the most money possible, because let's be honest with each other. Off his last couple of showings, whether or not you thought he'd be Canelo or not, or Danny Jason, that's neither here nor there. Right. Because up until then, he was dominant. He was dominant. Nobody was even in a fight. Even if they caught him a few times, he wasn't even in the fight. Right. So now we gotta say, the biggest Triple G fans gotta say, okay, we on the downstroke. So now, I might not make these 6 fights. Right. So each fight is very important right now on the backside of my career. Gotcha. So Abel, and I know the numbers, that he offered Abel 2% as opposed to his 10. Right. Now, I'm sure Abel said, and I don't know Abel Sanchez, but I'm sure he said, wait a minute. Right. 9 years, buddy. And you was an Olympic medalist, but no one in America
wanted to take you on.
The king of boxing, this is Boxing Central,
which is a business,
the
like
land
you just
of
said.
Joe Louis, right? So we did this. We got to the mountaintop.
We did this together.
Right. Now you want me to take 2%? Now what bothers me is not that Triple G's looking at it correct. Is he wrong to say I'm on the backside of my career and I need to keep all the money I could keep? Right. No, he's not wrong. Right. Business wise. Right. What bothers me is that those two guys who accomplished what they accomplished couldn't come to an agreement.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe the agreement was 4%.
Okay.
Maybe the agreement was that Abel wouldn't budge. He's got an argument. Mm-hmm. Give me my 10 that I signed up for.
Right.
Or I'm not going. And matter of fact, I feel you slapping me in the face. He's totally not wrong.
Right.
But G's not wrong for looking at a situation through clear glasses rather than rose-colored glasses. So I would have liked to seen them two guys figure it out. You know, figure it out. And I'm a trainer, dude.
Right.
Listen, we get screwed. We don't get paid. You know, there's no law in boxing. There's no law in nothing. There's no law that requires us to get paid. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
When the promoter cuts the check to the fighter, and most managers make it a way to where they get the check, and they'll cut the check to the fighter. But it's actually they hand a check to the fighter after the bout. Here you go, sign for it.
And they leave the responsibility to him.
And
to
he's got to
distribute.
Go to, right. And the manager gets his thing. Whoever, you know, they got all kind of shit that used to didn't exist.
Right.
And guess what? I'll see you at the gym next week, coach, or next month, because I'm taking this month off because it was a hard camp, and you sitting there twiddling your thumbs going, say, bro.
Right.
I was there with you 8 weeks.
Right.
Sweating, tired, got miles to feed and everything.
Right. Yeah.
Man, how about you just cut me a check the same night you get your check, and then we keep it fair.
Then I'll see you next month.
Then we could take the month off. So, it really takes a fighter with character to not fall victim to wives, girlfriends, family members, management, promoters. To stick it through. With their training. You know, very few. They do it.
Yeah.
They do it.
Yeah.
But very few, especially when they get the big promotion, the big promoter signs them, the big promoter's already bankrolling some coach in some gym that he's funneling his stable to.
Right.
And I understand this guy taught you how to fight. I understand this guy got you to where I'm interested.
Right.
Good. Come on with us now. So I can keep my finger on you and know where you're at. I can talk to my guy and say, how is he looking, this, that, and the third. It's a rough game, man.
Yeah, that's what I've heard of it.
It's a rough game, man. So the right thing, sure. Give Abel Sanchez 10% of them $30 million or whatever you make. But does that make business sense if you Triple G's brother?
Right.
If you Triple G's brother, do you say $100 million? That means we giving him $10 million.
Right.
Ain't a train. You think, I pose this question. This money that Lil Floyd's making, and we done seen the checks, right? He's making $250 million.
Right.
By the time he's pulling in percentage of pay-per-views and whatever.
Right.
Do you think that man is giving Roger Mayweather 10% of $300 million?
Probably not.
Roger Mayweather didn't get teeth till a couple years ago, right?
That's right.
Now, you can say is Lil Floyd wrong? Or does Lil Floyd give his uncle enough money that he'll never see him again?
Right.
Because he goes off the ledge. Or whatever the case may be.
Right.
We don't know.
We don't know.
I'm sure Roger Mayweather ain't hurting. I'm sure his daddy ain't hurting.
Right.
I'm sure nobody with the Mayweather name is hurting.
Floyd has said they're all millionaires.
Right.
Yeah.
So
everybody's a millionaire.
And another thing, once you make those millions, man, it's customary or it's you usually get a flat fee anyway. Like once your guy get, I've never produced a guy making millions of dollars, but
not yet.
But if you make once we get into that 3-4 million,
right?
Now, coach, let's do a flat fee every fight. So now, I think Lennox Lewis gave once he got into the multi-millions, he gave Manny like a flat $500,000 fee. Well, guess what? We can fight as many times as you want to fight.
Right.
And it's super fair.
Right.
$500,000 every time we show up.
Per fight?
Per fight?
Yeah.
We don't got to talk percentage no more. We don't got to talk nothing except when that paper expires, you either want to do it again,
right,
or I go on by my business.
You know,
and that's why love you or hate you, let's do paperwork, man.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day,
right,
when feelings get involved, emotions get involved, the court's gonna decide. And if they got paperwork, you have a argument. If you don't have a paperwork, you don't have an argument.
Yeah, man, that's just. And who wants to go through all of that? You know, it's like, come on, man.
Most trainers won't even do it. Nor do they have the money.
They'll just walk away.
Nor do the average trainer have the money,
right,
to go fight a court case. If you got the money,
right.
So they got to chalk it up and try to change. So the litmus test. You need to create a litmus test for who the person is
in the beginning. See what kind of character this guy has.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly, man.
I got you, man. And let me ask you about this one. How did you build your team? And how many fighters? First of all, let me back up. How many fighters do you have? How many of them are pro? And how did you put that team together?
We got about I'm guessing 25, 30 people in the gym. But my team, my Collinsworth boxing team, we got 2 professionals. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 amateurs on the team. The rest of them are trying to get on the team because I don't just
you don't just take anybody.
No. Before you put my name on your chest, man, I gotta know we gonna win.
We were just talking about some of that stuff off camera. Yeah,
exactly. So
that's like me with my video production. Don't put my name on that. I did that. I did that as a favor for you.
I'll help you. Right, but I don't want to get involved.
Exactly.
I tell you, it really is word of mouth, bro. Because my welter, who was a national champ, he came to me in 2011, no fights, never boxed, because he knew he had a child with one of my little boxer's sister,
right?
And his father-in-law said, "Hey man, my little son-in-law wants to box. Could I bring him to your show?"
Yeah.
He brought him. I put him through my personal litmus test, and he made it.
He checked all the boxes,
and we went on about a 20-fight run. Wow. And then I had to step away for a minute, and he continued boxing for another 2 years, I think. And then when I came back to the gym, he came back to the gym, and he won a national title 2 years.
Wow.
And so the point was he was going to try to make the 2020 team for the Olympics, and he had a rough outing in the qualifier.
Okay.
And there was an avenue he could have took to continue to try, but he started factoring in age. He's 26 years old, and he said, "I better make this run," you know.
Yeah.
And there was a couple avenues we had that seemed to a couple promotions that was worth checking in, and we still talking to people. So he had his first fight and won. We got our second fight, his second professional fight on May 18th in Houston. My other pro I didn't develop, and he came through him.
Oh wow! Okay.
He was a buddy when he was in that gym without me. When I was gone, they was teammates and amateurs. And matter of fact, the only amateur fight he lost was against him.
Oh wow!
When I was training him, and then they ended up on the same team.
Yeah. And
then he asked him. I think him and his coach had I don't think it was a bad falling out, but they parted ways. And he asked him, "Man, do you think Coach Derek would help me?" He said, "Go talk to him, man, because he don't. You just got to see if it'll fit, you know?" And
that's right.
And he's a great kid. He's a welterweight, and he came through. So basically, relationships, and basically, you gotta pass a test that has little to do with boxing when it comes to me. But I put him on that jump rope and tell him go. Right. And don't tell him stop.
Right. Yeah.
When he puts his head up, "Hey, is this enough?" Well, that's strike one. Right. I didn't, you know. Yeah. It's gonna be a lot more harder than jumping that rope, you know. So little things like that. Yeah. So my team usually come from word of mouth. I get weekly. Yeah. "Hey, coach, can I come? Man, when you take, these kids, they don't know, man. They think, and there because there's trainers out there that'll just
send them.
You know, you see him at the shows.
Yeah.
A coach got 10 people on the show.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's just fighting guys. You know, and no shot to anybody. That's that's their thing. So I'm a little different than that.
Right.
It's mostly word of mouth, man, and your success rate shows. You know, you could disagree with everything except winning.
Yeah, numbers don't lie.
I'm winning, bro.
Yeah.
So
numbers don't lie.
Right. Mm-hmm. So that's basically what I do, man, and I prefer it that way. Mm-hmm. Because anybody else I pluck is from kids, the small kids coming into the gym, going through I have a assistant coach that I'm grooming to be a coach who is one of my fighters.
Okay.
And he's training all the young guys exactly like I worked with him. He's working with them, and then he'll come and say, "Coach, this one here, man. Yeah, this is the one right here. Watch him."
What's the youngest kid you'll work with?
We got some 9-year-olds.
Okay.
We got some 9, 10, 11. Yeah, we got a bunch of younger guys, a bunch of early teens.
You can see something with them.
Yeah, you see the guys, you see the kids who want to be there.
Yeah.
They have a certain level of maturity. They still kids.
Yeah. Right.
But they have a certain level of maturity. They want to get better.
Yeah.
Those guys don't have time to get bored. Yeah. He'll be successful in all things he does, man.
Yeah,
I'm glad he's well built boy too.
Yeah, man.
Football may be his. He might want to carry that ball or something.
Exactly. So he starts next year. He'll be in 7th grade next year.
Oh, it's time.
So we're gonna put him in there. I've been holding off on him a little bit. We go up in the room now. I've been training him with weights just to get his body conditioned. Strong. Yeah, to get him strong. And I have him doing, because I used to be a physical trainer. So I train him low weight, high reps.
Yeah.
And so he can just burn those muscles, just burn. Keep going, don't stop, come on.
And building that armor too, he's gonna need it.
And he gets it. He mentally understands it. Okay, this is correct repetitions, correct form. Form is very important.
Right.
If you got to cheat and do all that with your back,
you're not really lifting it anyway.
Then you need to lower the weights.
Right.
The ego comes in. So I'm like, get used to form, and then you start piling the weights on.
I still learn, of course, and what I do, and I'm very, very, everything I've ever learned about fighting was what they call traditional, old school, and so I'm one of those anti-weight guys, right?
Yeah.
And then my son, through his athletics, football and basketball and stuff, he listening to his coach.
Yeah, he's a football star, isn't
he? Yeah, man. They got him over there at King Katy, bro.
I've been seeing him on your
prep
post.
School, man. Yeah, he's starting next year.
How tall is that kid now?
He passed me up by an inch now. He's 6'2" almost.
Good Lord, man.
Yeah.
How old is he?
14. Yeah, man. He's and I say that to say this. They put him on the weights last year at the end of the year, and he jumped up from like 143 to he's 157 right now.
Wow.
And he's on target. He'll be 10th grade next year. But talking to his coach, the guy who taught him how to play football, former NFL and Canadian League guy, he was explaining to me the importance of the weight training in football, especially. He was like, not only do you build that armor up, he said, but it's also to protect you from injury.
Exactly.
Injury protection.
That's right.
And I never did think of it like that.
That's right.
I was always, weights slow you down. You gain weight. Your muscles heavier and you're
not as agile.
Size yourself up and all that. But that's because the old. We talked about where I come from, the old ways, and so now when I hear boxing coaches talk about they fool with weights. I pay attention to what they're saying. Right. And then when they get into that high reps, low weight,
exactly,
it's prevention. Injury prevention. It's strength. Right. Because I'm not against weightlifting with boxers if there's a deficiency. Right. If you got weak legs, just because of muscle structure or whatever, well, you need to build them up.
You need to do some squats. Yeah.
But like I say, even me learning because I didn't. My big thing was no. Yeah. I had nothing to do with that, man. But
you incorporate with your guys now?
Well, no, I'm just not against it. See, with my guy being on the national team them couple years, they weight train. So when he brought that back, Coach, man, you got to do this. Let me see what you're doing. You know,
right?
And watch it. And now with the guys, if he says, "Hey, man, we need to," you know, and they'll do a certain circuit with things, and I'm all for it, because if I don't see no if I don't see no hindrance for nothing, and I'm still getting what I need, only you're stronger.
Yeah.
Hey, there we go, man.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a learning process, man. I won't sit here and say I bring them to the weight room. No,
right.
no, I don't do that at all.
Yeah.
but I'm not against anything that's gonna help them be more successful.
Now, how about you guys with nutrition?
Oh man, that's huge. Huge because of if you're feeding your body trash, if you put bad gas in the pickup out there, it won't go. It won't go as far as you need.
It's not gonna go as far.
Basically, basic rules of eating clean, healthy. Watching your weight. You know, my fighters seldom have a problem with weight. I don't think we ever miss a weigh-in, ever. And I'm not starving them neither. You know, we're not starving the last 3 days to lose weight.
Right.
And it's from the good eating habits and staying hydrated.
Yeah.
And you know, I really think there's a problem in fighting. And I know nothing about mixed martial arts. I only know my martial art, boxing, but the different type of thing, man. When I see those guys so gaunt and the boxers that's so gaunt, you know, I think there's a certain level of hydration, man. When you start losing brain water, which is a thing, right? You having nowhere to lose, right? You've heard the stories like that? Oh yeah, absolutely, man. You affect yourself, man. People's kidneys shut down. People's, you know, their brain is. You can talk to them and they look drunk. They, you know, and you're like, man, this guy ain't
just dried up like a raisin.
Yeah, man. You now, sure, you gonna hydrate. I could put you on IV if they can't find me and catch me, but you're not the same, man.
Wow.
It's like again, old school, you know. My dad always said, son, you got X amount of number of times you could get hit in your head. Yeah. And that's it.
Right.
And we don't know what the number is.
Don't know what that number is. And it's a different number for everybody.
And it's a very different number for everybody. Because the amount of times and who's hitting you changes.
Right.
He said, so the key is to not get hit. Right. Yeah. And a lot of people, it's funny, a lot of these guys who people think are great chins, you know, you don't really see what's happening. You don't understand that he's not getting hit like you think he's getting hit. Right. I mean, sometimes you got just tough guys, don't get me wrong. Yeah. You got the Gottis of the world, but the key is
Triple G, he got a pretty good beard. Damn good beard.
But he's another one. He's not getting hit as clean. Yeah. You know, I gotta give him some credit, man. I wasn't no super fan. Right. But he's educated, man. So but the times he has been hit, it didn't make him back up or nothing. No. So, you know, now imagine if I start starving your brain.
You take that
how many hits to the head is that I'm doing to you? Right. By making you dry out to you know, who knows? You know, I'm not a neuroscientist. But I know it ain't good for you.
And let me ask you this. Tell everybody how to get in touch with you. What's your social media?
Well, we got a website for the gym, the grind.buzz, but the Grind Boxing Academy on on Facebook. Okay. Instagram. The team Collinsworth Boxing has a Facebook and Instagram. Okay. We had to form a promotion company for one of my fighters. It's called Square Business Boxing. It has social media, so you can look up Collinsworth Boxing and it's linked to everything else. Nice. For anybody who wants to get involved with boxing, want to bring your kids, we over there in Katy off West Little York. Just look up
West Little York, Barker-Cypress.
Yeah. Look it up on the Grind Boxing Academy on Facebook, man.
Sweet, man. hey, y'all, with that, go check my man, Mr. Derek Collinsworth, out and subscribe to us if you like what you hear.
Absolutely.
Check us out. All right, y'all. Thank y'all. Appreciate you, Mr. Collinsworth.
Go.
All right.
Thank you for listening to Entrepreneurs and Small Business Owners, the podcast. If you like what you hear, follow us on Instagram at ESBO_the_podcast. Also, subscribe to us on SoundCloud.